So when we talk about block destruction, there are some key points that we continually drive to our players. And when we drive those points to the players, every play, every time we have a football play where someone, which that's every play, where someone is trying to block a defensive player, we can refer to those points to be able to educate, to be able to train a player to do it properly. So the first thing, going all the way back, effort to the ball is key, right? It's key. And going off of that, it's okay to get blocked. It's okay to get blocked. It's never okay to be blocked, right? It's never okay to stay blocked. And so we talk to our players about that. We talk to them. All three of these points are connected. We talk to our players about your effort is the opposite of your effort is a loaf, right? And so if you don't give great effort to get off blocks, then that has to be a loaf. Loafs they don't only happen with your legs. They can also happen with your effort to get off of a block. So it's important that we talk about that. It's important for us as coaches. We put the pressure on ourselves to coach block destruction, right? Let players know that it's important to us to train you, to expect you to be able to get off blocks every single play. And again, going to the coaching points where we can talk you through what happened on a particular play as it pertains to you destroying a block. The next, or some of those coaching points are proper foot placement. Right? It's so important that we lead with the inside foot. We lead with the inside foot to the blocker's outside foot, and we want to keep people always say, or you said it over the years, keeping your outside arm and leg away from the blocker, right? It's important that we lead with the inside foot, and you'll see that on some of these clips, right? First thing this player is doing is he's leading with the inside foot. And there's some things that I could critique him on, but right now I'm just talking about at the point of attack, he's leading with his inside foot. And I can also refer to other players here, even though this one is highlighted, this guy's leading with his inside foot, right? And so that's the point of the clip, is that we are leading with our inside foot, all right? How's a different angle? And so when we set this drill up, we set them up with their feet in a staggered position so that we can come and we can lead with the inside foot. Again, we can critique these guys on some other things as we go through, but we're talking to the point of leading with that inside foot. Or we should say the foot to the blocker, right? The foot to the blocker, leading with the inside foot. And so we check this player, he's leading with the foot to the blocker. Leading with the inside foot. And that's something that I won't necessarily have a point about. But when you do these drills, when you work with these bags, it's so important as we keep talking through the points. I don't want to miss this point. It's so important that you talk to 94 about holding that bag tight, right? He has to hold that bag tight, because as we keep going through the techniques, right, it's going to be important that that guy who is a part of the drill, that he holds the bag, because you're going to be aggressive with him. The last thing we want in these drills is to see guys with bags flying all over the place, all right? And this is another clip that I put in that is a little bit, we're not necessarily talking as much about this technique that this player is using. We can critique him on this later, but we want to lead with that inside foot. Even with bigger guys, I want to lead with that inside foot. All right, so when you slow this drill down, you continually talk. Again, this is what I'm critiquing. I'm critiquing this player's leading with his inside foot. And again, I'm stressing to the player who is assisting me with the bag to hold that bag tight. Hold that bag tight, because we're going to attack the bag. Again, there's some things that I could critique him on outside of leading with the inside foot. Actually, when we talk to that player about that technique, that position, we give him two options. First option is you go back there and make the play. Second option is you take the block on in such a way to divert the runner, to make the runner change his course, which you saw him do there. Again, talking about this drill, right? Now this is more of a close quarters drill than the drill that we saw a second ago, right? Now what we're adding into this drill is we're adding an unblocked defender right? We're adding a runner. And so now both of these players, 1 and 10, as they operate in this drill, 1 is keeping right side leverage, keeping his right arm and leg free, whereas 10 is keeping his left arm and leg free, and 8 is working off of these 2 guys as well as off the runner to be able to make a tackle. So you would use 8. 8 would be a safety, right? And so 10 is keeping outside leverage. 8 is coming inside out. But again, talking about 10s, leading with his inside foot there. The next point that we talk about is the blow delivery, right? Blow delivery is critical. When we talk about blow delivery, we tell our defenders, you must focus on the blocker, because all those drills you just saw, it's really easy for the defender to start to look to the runner. First thing you have to do is you have to deal with the blocker. So we talk about blow delivery, focusing on the blocker, and attack the blocker with violent hands. And you're going to see some guys with some clips, they have violent hands. The inside hand is to the middle of the blocker, right? The outside hand, and that outside hand, as it attaches to the blocker, is not as violent as the inside hand, right? But they are what we call violent hands. The defender's eyes, they must be lower. The low man in football always wins, so we don't want you to play high. We talk about not being high as you attack the blocker. If you watch some of our corners as they take on offensive linemen, right, that guy outweighs you, right, considerably. So it's important that you take him on with low eyes, with violent hands, with hips, and a good power base, right? And so we want to deliver that blow to neutralize the blocker and control him with your hands, right? With your hands and the leverage, right? All right, so you're watching 32, really. He does a good job. He always does a really good job of having violent hands. And so now he's violent hands, and the thing that we talk about is you want to neutralize the blocker, right? You want to neutralize the blocker. You want to control him. You want to keep him off you, but you want to be able to do that with your hands. You see what 32 is doing here? He's keeping the blocker off him. And so when you talk as a coach and you talk recruiting, right, you always want to recruit guys with long arms, with good length, right, with levers to be able to keep blockers off of him when we talk about defensive play. Boom, attacking. He's leading. People over the years have said hat and hands, but we're more trying to keep the helmet out of football. So we say, yes, you want to have your hands close to your eyes. You want to have your hands in a position so that you can attack the blocker with those tight hands, tight inside hands, right? And so we try to give you and this is making a point, the 20 right here, that 20 is attacking the inside pec. He's attacking the inside portion of number 4, and he's keeping that outside arm free. Yes, he's putting the outside arm on him, but it's more of a control arm because he's maintaining good outside leverage. Again, I can critique him on some other stuff, but we'll get to that in just a second. Right, so you deliver a blow. When you talk about defensive line, you deliver a blow, right? You're trying to attack him on his side of the line of scrimmage, and that same point of emphasis could be seen with different guys, different position. But we're talking here to 93. He attacks on the opponent's side of the line of scrimmage, right? With hands, and he's maintaining his gap integrity, maintaining leverage. Now, the thing that he does not maintain, and I don't know if he ever had it, he lost this race at birth, right? But he wants to continue to fight to try to maintain outside leverage. And that's why it's good to have brothers, right? Somebody to have your back when you're losing a fight.